All right, hello everybody, welcome back. Oh, I'm a little hot, hold on. Always forget to set the mic back. That should be good now. All right, hello Genius Potato, welcome back. Meep, hello, hello, good to see you. Emerson, good morning to you. RN Genesis, welcome. First from Alabama, welcome. Adam, good morning to you. Hello V, welcome back. All right, so yeah, today is a big day because I just released the devlog, first devlog for Alchemortis a little over an hour ago, and the Patreon is live. That means the playtest is live, so I'll be explaining all that in just a second. But first and foremost, the Alchemortis Steam page is available for wish listing. So if you could do that, I'd appreciate it. It's the first line in the description below. And also the Patreon has been launched. So this is a way that you can support my work, that you can support the Alchemortis development. And if you sign up for one of the paid tiers, you will have a Steam key emailed to you with your Patreon email address that will give you access to the playtest right now. So if you want to do that, I would very much appreciate that. And also the sponsor tier here will give you unlimited access to all of my course content, as well as credits in the Alchemortis in-game credits. So your name will be in the Alchemortis in-game credits. So if you want, you can consider doing that, but otherwise the cheaper tier here will also give you access to the Alchemortis playtest. So yeah, and then both tiers also get Discord channels, exclusive Discord channels, and the Discord is available for everyone. So you can join right now. That's also linked in the description below. So go ahead and join that if you're interested. And again, the Alchemortis playtest will be going public in like a week or two. The Patreon members get exclusive early access first, but then it will be available for the public to play for a short period of time. So no need to financially support if you can't or don't want to. That's totally fine. And then, of course, the last thing that I have to shill here is my my Udemy courses, which is another great way to support the channel. So if you want to learn how to build games in the Godot engine, these courses are a great way to do that. It's also a great way to support me. So everything that you can do to support is linked in the description below. And, of course, you can also like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. All right. Hello, Rin. Welcome back. Good to see you. So I've already been talking with some of you on the Discord, already got some really good feedback that I'm going to need to address in the future. One of the items actually is just a very easy item we can address right now, which is that the tutorial still mentions 15 notoriety. So this is going to be a very easy change, but we're going to go ahead and change that. When your notoriety level reaches 100. Okay, that's basically it. Whew, what a lot of work. We're done. What a day. We're gonna just commit this. Alrighty, wow, that was tough. Very tough. So now I'm kind of in a weird spot because I'm still getting some feedback. I'll be getting more feedback throughout the week, I'm sure. And then, of course, feedback will be coming in when the public playtest is available. But I think there are some things I can do right now. I don't really want to change. How am I going to do this? I don't really want to change too much about the playtest as it currently is. But I do need to start working on some new things. So the next big thing to work on, the next big project to do is to figure out what an actual entire run looks like from start to finish. So we're going to try to target like a half-hour run time, meaning that it'll take roughly 30 minutes to complete a run, and all of the pacing and balancing that entails, as well as starting to introduce the other villager factions. So again, there's going to be different villager factions. There will be like the peasant faction, then there will be like the army faction, and then there will be the high cultural nobility clerical faction. And that faction will be where you'll see things like paladins and bishops and kings and dukes and all that stuff. So yeah, that's the next big project. I've been thinking about that, but there's still a bunch of problems. Every approach that I think of has a bunch of problems. So trying to nail that down. But there are some other things that I can do in the meantime around the edges. Like I can start nerfing some poison, nerf skeleton warrior. I think the skeleton warrior is just a little bit too strong right now. And yeah, we want to experiment with alchemy always being available. So that might be a good one to start with. So what I might do is I might just cut, let's see. Should I just spin off a branch? So here's the problem. I don't necessarily want to include any major changes in the playtest build, but I need to continue working. So I might just create a branch for the playtest separately that I can push changes to as necessary, and then keep my main work on the master branch and just pull in changes from the playtest branch into master as I need to. That might be the way to go. I don't know. Hello, Yeet. Good to see you here. A lot of work, yeah. How did you manage that huge bug? I know, seriously. How do you create boards in Obsidian? You need to have the Kanban community plugin. Thank you, Artem. Welcome back to the stream. Yeah, the Patreon launch has gone very well so far. Already got quite a few supporters, so thanks to everyone that did subscribe to the Patreon. That's very much appreciated. Saw your vid today. I'm so excited. Thank you, yeah. What'd you guys think of the video? Who watched it? Was it entertaining enough? Was it entertaining enough? I hope so. Hello, Ninja Link. Welcome back. One in the first run. Whoop whoop. Nice. Great. Okay, so yeah, let's do that. Let's spin off a branch here. I'm just going to call this Playtest 1. We'll publish that. So if I need to make changes to the playtest, I'll go to the Playtest branch. But otherwise, the master branch is going to be forward development here. I'm gonna have to manage that. Oh no, there's a whole extra realm of complexity that I wasn't prepared for. It's all right though. It's okay. It was good. You liked it. I enjoyed the video. Good. Thought it was a great video, but I already know all the stuff. So IDK, how unfamiliar viewer would feel. Right. Yeah, that's true. All right, let's nerf. Let's just start doing some nerfs here. We're gonna nerf the skeleton warrior a little bit. I'm just gonna turn down its damage. And then we're also going to be... Micro Center is sending me text message promotions. Why? Why? I don't want to buy your 8 terabyte drive. $1,000 for an 8 terabyte NVMe drive. I'm sorry, Micro Center, I don't have $1,000 to spend. Okay, anyway. Let's also nerf some poison. So, let's see. So I think a good candidate is the giant squid. I think that this poison... We're going to make this 2. We might have to just nerf poison generally speaking, but we'll nerf that. Where is this simple poison used? Amanita, frog, simple poison 4. Leech, that's probably okay. Maybe I'll turn this down too. Poison does a lot of damage, right? So the frog here, if it has 3 poison, that means it's going to do 6 damage over time, right? So it does 3, then 2, then 1. So I think it's just a little bit too strong. But also, let me see, where is this used? The alembic is something weird, yes. There's a lot of things to do, but I think this is okay. So just apply some nerfs there. Nerf poison around the game. I might have to actually change how the poison works or something. I don't know. We'll see. Or keep the way poison works and balance the rest of the game around that. Not the shambling remains. No, my big bone. Yeah, I think the skeleton warrior is a little bit too strong. It does 8 damage and has 6 turn cooldown, so... my backbone of my game is done. How finished should it be before I can send for code review? You can send it at any state of development. I am accepting submissions at any stage of development, so feel free to whenever you're comfortable. I should change my name on here to Patch, Patreon, and Discord. You could. The Rod and Venom artifacts go crazy together. Oh, really? I did a poison build and I almost broke the sound with the amount of poison bottles being thrown. It felt great, though. Yeah, I need to figure out... I need to limit that. Oh my gosh, my cats are just... being unbelievably annoying right now. Add a sandbox mode, maybe. Like you can give yourself everything and then use it. I might have to do that. I'm probably gonna have to do that, yeah. I also did a poison build with the Venom artifact and the scaling poison item. Nice. Pity you don't have a simple table somewhere where all the damage contents are stored. Would make balancing easier. Yeah, I mean it's I would have to build a system for that, right? So I guess easier is just a question of like, is it easier to just change the code, or is it easier to build a system that can be configurable with like a resource file or something? Poison felt like carpet bombing and using nukes rather than a drizzly dot. Yeah, I agree. 2 times Alchemy Skeleton with Convert to Preserve. Oh, yeah. That can work very nice. The Alembic needs its own wiki separate from the game. I know. I need to figure out like more complex querying patterns. Where is that at? Figure out a way to indicate more complex querying patterns. So I have the ability to do things like only target cards in the column above or only target cards in the row to the right or to the left, but I don't have a way of communicating that effectively, so I haven't really been using it that much. But that could unlock a lot more strategic positioning, I guess you could say, but I just need to figure out how to do that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. We'll figure it out. Anyway, we nerfed the Skeleton Warrior. Nerf Poison. I'm not going to really just play test those. Those are just number changes, so we'll figure that out later. Figure out a way to indicate more complex. Experiment with allowing Alchemy to always be available. I think that's going to be a good one. Make Alchemy boards. Make Alchemy nodes increase Alchemy board size. I think this is the next big thing that I want to figure out, is if making the Alchemy always available is going to be a good idea. So maybe we'll start on that. Yeah, so really, like, this is the big next question to resolve, and then figuring out the actual, like, full loop. I think those are the next big questions that are going to move the game forward significantly. So we'll probably just focus on those things. I think it would be good to have it reviewed before building too much on it. Yeah. Apparently I have no idea how to change my name on here. Yeah, I don't know. Google's products are not very usable. I don't know what happened. Why do I code in VS Code? Because Godot doesn't have C# support. I mean, it has C# support, but not like IDE C# support, so it'd be very painful. It's going to be difficult to communicate all that without just writing huge paragraphs. Yes, it is. Also, how does updating the playtest work? Curious on what it looks like in the background. So I have an automated build pipeline. I think I showed it before, but I have a workflow build playtest here. Anytime I push a tag that has a v semantic version dash test, it does this whole build workflow, which ultimately uploads the build to Steam. That's what this block here does. And then I can just go into the Steam backend and promote that build to like the default branch, which is like the production branch. So it's very simple. I just fire off a tag, push that tag to GitHub, and I go and grab coffee or whatever. And 8 to 10 minutes later, it's available on Steam, and I can just click a button to publish it. I thought the red crosses around the icon indicated which nearby cards were affected, or has that now gone? That is gone. That grid indicator was not super intuitive, so I kind of axed that. You can, if you hover over a card, it will highlight other cards that are synergizing with the card. So that's like somewhat there, but it's not. Yeah, this game is like a UX nightmare. It's going to be very, very difficult to communicate a lot of this information, but it's doable. It's just going to be difficult. Can't know how it feels to have constant alchemy without trying it first. Exactly, yeah. So my plan is to... I was going to do a separate playtest to make alchemy always available, but I may just do it as part of this playtest depending on how it goes. I'll just make an announcement like, hey, I'm testing something new or whatever. What's the difference between playtest and early access? So the playtest is just going to be a limited time. After a certain period of time, it's just going to be an arbitrary. Once I've felt like I've got enough feedback and everyone has had a chance to play it, I'll be revoking playtest access. So I'll be marking it as not playable So it'll essentially be unplayable from your Steam library, and I'll also be revoking all the Steam keys. And then the next round of playtest, I'll send out new Steam keys to everyone who's currently a Patreon subscriber. So the playtest is like, so early access would then be like, I actually make it publicly available for sale on the Steam page, but it's still in development, which I may do. I may put Alchemortis in early access depending on how it goes. But do I sometimes use GD? Sometimes for game jams I do. Hello Dione, welcome. Good to see you. Congratulations on the release and the playtest. It's been a great journey. Thank you, Craig. Appreciate that. Would you ever consider being a publisher for other people's games? Well, I don't have the requisite knowledge to do that. It would be fun, I think, but I need the resources and the knowledge to do that, and I have neither. So we'll consider that if that ever changes. Asymmetrics. Nice. Adam is not Adam anymore. Echo paralysis on Mausoleum Key seems very strong. Nice. Marketers advise against early access a lot of the time. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We will see. I think early access, well, I could see why it would be bad, but my thought is I would release it as like a full game, and early access would more so be a marker that there's more content coming, right? So not that the game is like broken and buggy, but like it's a full experience, but like it's actively in development, meaning it's going to get big patches, you know, but we'll see. And my cats are continuing to be annoying. They're making, I don't know how little 8-pound creatures make so much noise. Goodness gracious. They had all morning to do this, and now when I sit down to stream, it's like, oh, time to make noise. Animals. Anyway, let's just start working on making the alchemy always available. I have no idea how I'm going to do this. We're going to start with the alchemy event state machine. So, yeah. I think I'm just going to make this easy on myself to start. Actually, you know what? If alchemy is going to always be available, then what I can do... This is both going to be easy and also probably make sense. So when I click this button here, I can just pull up the alchemy on this side like it normally does for an event. I was thinking, oh, I could put a new button in here. No, I could just bring up the alchemy. There's a big open space here that's unused. So I could just slide in the alchemy here and just make that always available whenever you open your inventory. I think that will work. So let's try it. Drawer UI. Alchemy container. Can I just spawn the alchemy container in here? Let's see. Yeah, so I could just spawn the alchemy container in here. Mark this. Oh, I need another padding here. Duplicate this, delete that. Put the alchemy container there. Rename. Right half. Oh, these cats are driving me nuts. Is that right? Why is the board off center there? Did I move this on accident? I don't know why that's the case. Okay, anyway. So we've got our alchemy container here. We don't want the skip button. Oh, shoot. Well, I mean, we might as well just start destroying things. Goodbye, skip button. So we've got our alchemy container here. We want to make this persistent, which means that it can be used multiple times. So this is going to need to be, this is going to need to have some kind of state associated with it. I almost wonder... will this even work? Like, do I even need to do anything here? Nah, we got some errors here. Oh, skip event button. Yeah, I need to get rid of this. We're going to need to change all this script in here, but that's okay. Get rid of that. This alchemy event state machine is going to have to change. I'm going to need to move this whole block of code somewhere, so it's not going to work the way it's currently situated. I wonder if I should just do... state utils? Doesn't really make sense to put it here, but... let's move this. We'll just put this inside the alchemy container for now. Private void alchemize cards. Base card cards. Okay. We're gonna have to worry about that later. Alchemy started event handler. We're gonna get rid of this signal. We're not using this anim error anywhere. Get rid of that. Alchemy completed. Anyway. This here, we can do alchemize cards. Okay. We are destroying things. We're taking a sledgehammer to the code base. I never played early access anymore. It just feels like I'm getting my fill of the game before I get to experience the best version of it. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I've definitely felt that way as a player too. I've got a number of things on my Steam wishlist that are in early access because I'm waiting. My cat yells at me to play fetch with her. Yeah. You're in their house. Yeah, I always kind of thought about it. Like, you're inside of a cat terrarium when you're in a house with them. Like, this is just the whole house is just their play pen, their enclosure. And you're just kind of like waltzed in as the zookeeper. We hear no kitties, give them a mic of their own. I forgot I have a little USB webcam separate from this one that I'm using. So I think I could easily set that up in front of the chair here and have a cat cam. I might do that at some point this week. Would be awesome to release my game under Firebelly Games. That would be cool. But we don't want to dream too big yet. Let's handle one thing at a time first. Think about Schedule 1's early access. When it releases, it's basically not going to sell anymore because people already did everything during EA. Yeah. I think there's arguments for both. I think with early access, like, if you can communicate that there's a lot more content coming, that can be an appealing part of the sale. Versus if you're just gonna sell it as a non-early access game, but you still continue to develop it, it's like, I think you need to have more content when it launches by default, which makes sense if you're just gonna launch it outside of early access, but then also like communicating that, hey, part of the reason you're buying this game is because it's gonna have more content added. So the other thing is, like, I need money sooner rather than later, as crass as it sounds. So if Alchemortis is not quite in the ideal state, but it's good enough to start selling, that would be an argument for early access as well. So I don't know. I have to think about that more. Need a cat cam, yeah. I've tried multiple builds so far and they all feel great, not leaning one way or the other. That's great. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. The build diversity is something that I think is going to be very important. EA should have a you can't complete the game wall. The original Alchemy nodes can be more rare and be used to increase the Alchemy board size. Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. What is the story of the game? Maybe add some cutscenes or dialogues. Yeah, so I don't have a story. I think that's something that everyone, or not everyone, but a lot of people have been asking for. I think there's a lot of stuff, like if you watch my devlog, there's a lot of stuff to draw from in terms of inspiration, using like real esoteric knowledge, real alchemy, pulling in elements of mythology, metallurgy, these kinds of things, medieval science, astronomy, and just mixing those all into like this low fantasy, dark fantasy, gritty environment. I think that's a really great setting for a world. And there's already some themes emerging. Like I think you'll tell me if I'm wrong, but I think if you're playing the game, you should get the impression that you're playing as the bad guy, right? Especially if you read the flavor text for like the villagers and stuff, which is intentional. I think, you know, yeah, I think that's just one of the a power fantasy that's not offered often in games is like you're playing as the bad guy, right? So yeah, I think there's just a lot of material to pull from, but as far as like pulling together a coherent story, yeah, that's something I have to think about. I've never written a story for a game before, so it'd be a stretching of my skills for sure. Feels like playing Jenga, just removing stuff from the code, hoping it doesn't break. It can be like that. CAD-CAM. You make your own pixel art. I do, Carlos. I do. Everything you see in the game, absent the stuff that's animated with shaders, was hand-drawn by me. And even the stuff that's animated with shaders is hand-drawn in some cases like this. The cloak is amazing if you have a ton of currency to spend and you need to make it to the shop before the boss. Won my first run, never have to play again. GG. Awesome. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. I'm very happy. Like the feedback so far is great. Obviously, there's lots of problems with the game that have been pointed out, which is good. That's the whole point of the playtest. But like, I think, yeah, the feedback so far has generally been it's very fun. The builds are cool, and we want more of it. So thank you to everyone who played. Very much appreciate that. And yeah, it's I don't know what to say beyond that. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Well, I mean, let's just see if it works. Oh, it doesn't work. Cool. Do I have to do a play in on this now? Drawer UI. Alchemy container. Yeah, this is going to be tough. I mean, it's not going to be that tough. I just need to figure out how to get this alchemy to work with this UI now. That works, though. That's good. And then it slides out. So it gets left in a bad state here. So one option I have is I can recreate the scene every time I open this. That might introduce some heftiness as well. So the big thing here is that this alchemy needs to be made stateful. Oh, I've got a bunch of errors too. It's okay. Anyway, does this just work if I do this? It does, okay. Minus this stuff here. So that needs to play out after I take an option as well. I mean, it's definitely going to be easier if I just delete and recreate the scene every time. but it would be smoother if like once you take this, it just resets back to its typical board size. And then of course, when I close this, I need that to play out a little bit more elegantly. And also it's now doing all this. Cool. Back buffer copy. Oh, it's got a process. Oh. Set process. No. Azir, you're being annoying. You're being annoying. Yeah? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Okay. Do you need your attention? Here. Tell everyone how much of a demon you're being right now. Go ahead and tell them. Say, I'm being a demon. Say, I'm being a demon. Oh, okay. You can't, no, you can't do that. Hello, Aniki, welcome back. Hello, Mihao, welcome, welcome. Wait, maybe you're a mage that was like an exile and you want to get revenge. Story ideas, anyone? Well, you're not a mage, you're an alchemist. The idea is that there's not going to be like, I don't know, like high fantasy wizards and stuff. It's more like you're an alchemist necromancer, and the way that you're reanimating the dead is through a pseudo-scientific method rather than just like, oh, it's magic, right? It's more so like you're mixing reagents and following recipes and like bringing things back to life. So you're more of like a scientist, kind of. It was a good game until you nerfed the skeleton. Sorry, not sorry. The nerf was not even live, bro. That's funny, though. Hello, Woo, yes. I watched your last stream, and at the end you encountered a problem with left click while in a shop. It was bound to buy an item and show card details. Right. Some suggested buying a double click. I'd like to weigh in and suggest making the card details show on right click instead. It feels like showing properties and windows. So I can revert that. The way that it works now is that right click purchases anything from the shop. So left click will bring up the inspector like it does in your inventory, and right click initiates the purchase. And I added tooltips to that effect as well, like little control tooltips. So that's in the current playtest version. So if you want to try it out, you can subscribe to the Patreon or wait until it goes to the public, and then you can tell me how it feels in the Discord server, which is all linked below, by the way, everybody. He's so naked, yes. Cat, naked cat. Finally, Discord, yes. Hope to see you there. He said, and I quote, meow. And I agreed, yeah. Okay, so when I play out here, maybe I don't even want this to be a fade out anymore. I might just want to reverse this. It's killing the board here. Maybe what I'll do is let's worry about this later. Let's get rid of this play fade out here, because that's just messing everything up. Let's get the loop working. So after I alchemize cards and after I take a card, emit signal, alchemy completed. I think what I want to do is board inventory component dot clear board dot resize board inventory component dot set dimensions, set board dimensions, new vector 2 3 3. Is this going to work? Now vector 2i. Has initiated alchemy. This needs to be set to false. Clickable control. Oh, on skip. We can get rid of this. I think I can just do that. So just kind of reset the state there. See what happens. Oh, also, see. Cat disagree with you, yeah. Where's Adam? Where Adam indeed? Never liked that jerk anyways. It's funny. If you want to get some info on IRL, Alchemy, and Occult, and stuff like that, I highly recommend the channel Esoterica. Okay. I started off by reading the I'm going to start off by reading the Wikipedia articles for those things. I miss Adam, yeah. I mean, his inspiration for the game. Yeah, for sure. Hello, MP. I've been wanting to buy your multiplayer course, but it seems like Udemy is not doing the regular sales anymore. Am I crazy, or did they change things? Udemy runs sales basically whenever they want, randomly, so I would suggest that you can either wait for Udemy to run another sale, or if you subscribe to the Patreon at the top tier, you get unlimited access to all of my course content. So that may also be a cheaper option than Udemy. But again, it kind of depends on what region you're in. Why did that not clear the board? Okay. Why did that not clear the board? Maybe a story was you on a path to crystal was guarded by a boss in a dark kingdom. Also, are you a bad guy or a good guy? You're a bad guy, yeah. Buy his Patreon and get all the courses. Yeah, you can definitely do that. You don't get like permanent course access. You get access to the courses while you're subscribed at that tier. But if it takes you only a month to get through it, you can just pay for a month, go through the course, and then unsubscribe. That might be cheaper than Udemy. But yeah. Is the ingot done? Yes, it is. Yeah, I finished the art for the ingot. Finally. Why is this clear board not working? Add drag logs for board. Oh, I guess I don't need this here anymore. Why is that not working? Why is that clear board not working? Do I need to individually free those? Trying to think. I might need to individually free those. Let me see. For each var card in board.board inventory component.get cards on board. I can do card.queueFree. Shurima, what are you doing? Shurima, come here. Freaking cats. Hi. Do you want to do you want to go on the stream too? There you go. Now you both got your stream time. Can you calm down now? Can you calm down now? Buy Patreon the company, get the courses for free. Yeah, true. Maybe then a boss, good guy, so you want to give your kingdom the power of the crystal. Yeah, interesting ideas for sure. Truly a lunch worth live stream. Another cat, yeah. Is that what a nude void looks like? I guess so. Okay, so we're freeing the card here, clearing the board, setting the board dimensions. That should work, I think. We're getting there. We're almost able to get the alchemy in. Let's see. So I do this. It goes here. I can drag this over. That will reset the board. And then I should be able to go again. Oh, there's still a drag lock, though. Why is there a placement lock? Add board placement lock. I need to remove the board placement lock down here. Okay. Alchemize those. Bring this over here. That goes back, and I should be able to put this back on. There we go. Oh, it's still hovering. On output card mouse entered. Oh. Let's move this. Move this up here. On card mouse entered. On card mouse exited. Okay. Then down here, if not has initiated alchemy or okay, we're getting there. Okay, no fade effects. I should see the fade effects now. Cool, and I bring this back over. That goes back, and now if I put this on, I shouldn't see any fade effects. Okay, cool. We're getting there. We're getting there. Obviously, that out animation is going to have to change. There's this in animation, which is a problem. Alchemy container. I think what I want to do is remove this. Add input lock here. We're going to get rid of that, and we're just going to put that in the play in. Play in animation, add the input lock, and then remove it. That should fix that. Okay, all right, we're getting there. Very cute kitty. Thank you. Yeah, she is cute. Different galaxy that was like in medieval ages. I don't think I'm going to do that. It's a creative idea. 3025. No, I like setting it in like the actual medieval dark ages. I think that's a good setting. My ex-wife had 3 cats when we got together. They'd sometimes run through the apartment and chase each other at 3 a.m. like they were on a wild acid trip. Yeah, cats do that. They can be annoying, that's for sure. But it's okay. They're actually chasing each other right now. Okay, and if I move this, okay, that might have to change. Because now it just goes into the alchemy immediately. So I might want to change the alchemy prioritization, but that's okay. We'll worry about that in a second. So many things to do. Project settings, game debug, test player cards. Let's see what this looks like with more alchemies now. More alchemical things. We get a legendary output. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. 6 damage, 8 damage, 3 poison, 5 damage. Nice. And I can put this here. Okay. So I think this loop is basically working minus the fact that it's not animating properly. I think what I'll do is just make it slide out the opposite way. But we don't need to worry about that right now. The next phase is to change those alchemy nodes. There's a missing pixel right there. Son of a biscuit. And there's an extra pixel there. What the heck is going on? Okay, that's all right. So yeah, the next thing to do is to change these alchemy nodes to change the alchemy board size, which I'm going to have to probably do a bunch of art for too. Okay, well, the important thing is that it's getting into a state where I can playtest it. So let's playtest it myself. So we're going to change this alchemy node. Do I want to do this on a new branch too? Oh no. Okay, anyway, we'll just roll with it. We'll do it live. Make alchemy always available. So that didn't take too much effort. Really, it didn't. I just need to change this alchemy event state machine now. And I also have to store the current size of the alchemy board somewhere. Where am I going to do that? I guess I could just store it in the run manager. That's not ideal, but I don't know if there's a better way to do it. Standard protocol for cats, yeah, a long time ago, but somehow in the future. We'll start at part 4. Yeah. Giving me so many weird ideas, yeah. There will be no aliens, I don't think, unless you count like Gorgons as aliens. Profile picture checks out, yeah. Did I hear art stream? No, we're not doing art stream today. Not today. I really think this game without story would be kind of weird. Yeah, I'll have to think about it. I'll have to give maybe some kind of story. Does your multiplayer course use NetFox? I feel like it saw your name around that project somewhere. It doesn't use NetFox, no, but I do mention NetFox in like the closing of the course as something to explore, but it doesn't cover NetFox because NetFox is still in active development, and chances are if I recorded a course, 2 months later, the entire NetFox library would change. Are you going to daily upload? I stream daily. Or just about daily. Sunday is really the only day that I don't stream regularly. Okay, yeah, so the next stage is to make that alchemy board, or that alchemy node increase the alchemy board size. So we're going to need to figure out how to do that. Let me think. How are we going to do that? Well, we'll figure that out in a second. Yeah, I do stream daily. Would you say this game came together very piece by piece and evolved from simple to complex? I feel really overwhelmed thinking of a project of this scale. Thank you for streaming also. Hello, Pigeon Child. I love the name Pigeon Child. Yeah, I mean, when I started the game, I started it with just like the inspirations that I mentioned in the devlog. So I wanted to make an auto battler with a necromancy theme. I borrowed some gameplay elements from backpack battles and also from the Bazaar. And then, yeah, as far as like building the game, yeah, it's just piece by piece, it's just build the grid functionality first and then make it so that you can drag cards on the grid and then build the auto battler combat system after that, and then figure out how to create an abstraction for all the abilities you want to create. And The Alchemy, I don't even remember how the Alchemy came about. I really don't. I don't remember how the Alchemy system came about, because that's not directly inspired by anything from another game. I think I was just interested in adding another level of strategy, and the Alchemy system just happened to work really well with the ability abstraction system that I created. But a lot of the complexity of this game just comes from the way that the systems interact with each other. Like I haven't sat down and like planned out a bunch of synergies. I'm just making cards that have cool sounding abilities that can synergize in theory with other things. But it's not like I'm sitting down and saying, okay, I need to implement these 4 cards so they can form this build, you know? So I would say that, yeah, once the systems are in place, like the auto battler and the ability abstraction system, like a lot of the complexity from the game just emerges naturally. It's not necessarily intended, which is mostly a stroke of luck, if I'm being honest. It's not like I wasn't sitting down like with this mastermind gigabrain plan of like making this a super strategically deep game. I mean, obviously that was something that I wanted to achieve, but I think I kind of fell into that rather than you know, having like an excellent plan for it ahead of time. Which songs to use for stream? They're very cool. It's called TheRelaxedMovement. It's a channel on YouTube. It's royalty-free lo-fi music. Hello, Ito, it makes games. Welcome, welcome. I have a question. How do you decide or adjust pixel art size? I really don't make it in my mind. I really don't make it in my mind when put pixel arts together. Well, basically what I did is I decided, since I knew I was going to have a grid, I just decided, okay, what's a good size for a grid? These ended up being 18 by 18, which is a little bit weird, but that's the size that I felt comfortable with. And then I just base everything off of that, you know? So, and then the screen resolution is 640 by 360. That's the typical screen resolution that I use every time. So I think the big thing is like just settle on like a core element of your game. It might be the tile size, and then you can draw everything in relation to that. And that's how I kind of keep things proportional. You're welcome. How hard is Alchemortis? I'm pretty bad with roguelites. I don't think it's that hard because it's not really it's a roguelite, but it's because it's like a strategy game. You can take as much time as you need to figure out how you want to proceed and what cards you want to use, and you get real-time feedback as to the efficacy of your build when you're going through combats, and so you can adjust before you get to the boss fight. I think as far as roguelites go, with a little bit of thinking and planning, it should be relatively easy. I definitely don't like in roguelites where they're just like impossibly hard from the very start, and the only way to beat them is to like get a bunch of upgrades, like meta upgrades, like permanent progression upgrades. How do you check cards around to trigger similar abilities? I built a query system, so I can send in a query options object, which tells basically what the rules are for finding cards. And then I can just query the board whenever I need to find a card that matches a specific criteria, or a set of criteria. 18 by 18 is kind of weird, yeah. Yeah, I think that's the reason, yeah. The card has some borders around it. So like the interior of the card ends up being roughly 16 by 16 that you can draw in. Yeah. I mean, I beat it and I suck. It's all about the synergies, yeah. It's quite easy for me at least. I'm going to probably make it harder, but I don't want to make it like impossibly difficult, for sure. Have you ever made platformers? Yeah, I have, yeah. Several of my jam games are platformers. Will I start seeing IGN guides on how to beat Alchemortis first boss? I hope so. Hey, thank you, Schlurgy. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I need a quick 3-minute break, and when I come back, we're gonna change the Alchemy node to increase the Alchemy board size. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, in the meantime, you can wishlist Alchemortis. You can subscribe for the Patreon if you want access to the playtest right now. And yeah, I'll be right back in 3 minutes and we will continue on. All right, I'm back. Maybe alchemy can also cost money, so it's a money sink. That is an interesting idea. I mean, alchemy is a card sink though, because if you put in 3 cards, you can only take 1 out, right? So the minimum cost of alchemy is you have to spend at least 1 card, because the minimum amount of cards you can mix is 2. But you could mix as many as the board will allow, but that means that the cost of alchemy scales directly with basically how many cards you put in the board, right? So I don't know if adding an additional cost on top of that is going to be too much. I definitely need more money sinks in the game, but I just don't know. I don't know if that is the way to do it. Maybe you'll add gambling. I do want to add gambling, a gambling event. That would be cool. That would be really cool. Thank you, Pigeon Child. I appreciate that. Thank you for all of your wish lists, all of your support. So the run manager in here, create event state machine, enter state event, get state machine for event. I think what I can do, grow board event state machine. I kind of want to just use the same. I'm going to draw a new art, but just for the purpose of playtesting, I kind of want to just use this grow boards event state machine context here. And what I might do is just cheat here, and I might just do bool for alchemy. Equals false. Then in here, we're going to do new grow board event state machine. Context true. Var board is equal to for alchemy, question mark. We'll figure that out. Board. So now we need the context in here. Drawer UI. Alchemy container. I'll just create a public. Well, do I want to do that? I'm just going to do something very, very hacky. I should probably do this in a better way, but I just want to get this to a point where I can test it just to see how it feels. And then I'll make everything nicer later. Oops. Oops. Private set. Thank you. Okay. So now in my grow board state machine, context drawer UI, alchemy container.board. All right. And if I go to my alchemy container, right, I need to keep the original dimensions. Oh, let's do this. Private vector2 I default board dimensions is equal to new vector2 I 2. We're going to put default board dimensions in here. Default board dimensions there. So now actually Let's make this a public. I think we can just... Shoot. This is a little bit tricky. It's a little bit tricky because I could be in a state where I haven't taken my alchemy output, and if I upgrade my alchemy board, it's going to change it. So yeah, this is going to need to change. Default board dimensions. I don't know, man. I don't know. Board equals 4 alchemy. Let's do this. Board dimensions is equal to context.playerboard.board inventory component dot dimensions dot board. Why does it always do that? Board inventory component dot dimensions. There we go. Dimensions. Okay. If for alchemy, else, no. Okay, that'll work. Default board dimensions here. I don't know if this is going to work, actually. I'm going to change this again. Public void set default board dimensions. Set board dimensions here. Now this is going to be if not has initiated alchemy. I think that's right. My cat is howling. What are you doing? What are you doing, cat? Ah, son of a biscuit, man. I keep going back and forth. It's okay. Whatever, dude. I don't... Public vector2 I default board dimensions. Fine, just do that. Are you happy now? Whatever, it's fine. State utils, grow board state event. Okay, cool. All right, let's see what happens. I don't know if I did this wrong, but gotcha for more alchemist outfits. Oh my gosh. What language is this and how easy or hard making a game in Godot? I heard about it a little bit. It's open source and free. I'm using C# with Godot. And I would say that, I mean, game development is just hard generally. I would say that Godot is a relatively easy engine to learn, especially as there's a lot of good tutorial content out now, as opposed to when I started using Godot. So I think, you know, as far as game engines go, I think Godot is relatively easy to learn, but I think game development in general is just a very hard thing to learn, especially if you're a beginner. So, but you can give it a shot for sure. There's lots of free resources. The engine itself is free. What's your favorite game by someone else? I don't know. I think Baldur's Gate 3 maybe. I think Baldur's Gate 3 is my answer. I started YouTube and a few days ago I released a channel trailer that has 59 views. Awesome. Is it good for a first video or should I improve something because I'm currently working on devlog 1 and I want more views? So getting 59 views is great, especially coming from 0. That's definitely good. Absolutely good. Now, is it good? It's good for a first video. Should I improve something? Yes, there's always something to improve. Like I think you should always approach your videos as if there's something that you can do better. So without having watched your video, a couple of things that I could suggest is your audio quality needs to be good. I think one of the biggest turnoffs that cause people to click away from YouTube videos is if the audio is too quiet or it's too echoey or there's background sounds, it's not super clear. So I would look up, I know you probably don't, you know, I don't know, You might not have access to like high quality recording equipment, which is fine. There are still things you can do to make your audio sound good, even with a cheap microphone. Among those, you can look up how to apply compression to your audio to make the volume sound very even. And you can also look into various noise reduction methods. That's the number one thing you can do. And then, yeah, the other thing is just look at other devlogs of people you admire and just study what they do, like when they make cuts, how long they leave things on screen, if they do any kind of animations or anything like that, and try to emulate those elements that you find appealing. I really want to make 3D isometric view factory game, but it seems like a large undertaking. It does sound like a large undertaking, yeah. It sounds fun, but yeah, definitely difficult. Rocket making factory game in a nice pastel color palette sounds so nice. That does sound nice, yeah. Have I ever hosted a game jam? No, I have not. Not the son of a biscuit. It's crazy hearing someone else say son of a biscuit. I thought forever I was the only one that said that, yeah. You're welcome. Not biting. What's not biting? 0 to 59 is an infinite relative increase. Yes. Or maybe an undefined increase. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I wonder if game dev content generally is just kind of like becoming uninteresting to people, because I look at other game dev channels and I'm looking at their view counts, and like the view counts seem to be low historically compared to like, and I'm talking like across multiple channels. It's my channel, but also like bigger channels too that I watch their devlog content. It seems like just on average the devlogs are not getting as many views as they once did. I would be curious to talk with other people who are creating devlogs in the space to see if that tracks, but anyway, let's see what happens if I do this. So the thing I was mentioning before is if I put this in here and then I close this, that's going to stay in that inventory right there. So I don't want to change the size of the board. Well, let's just leave that there and see what happens. So if I go here, that's going to spawn... Ah, son of a biscuit. Why is this here? So that increased that board size. Okay, cool. So I obviously don't need this to show up when I'm... Oh, gosh, why is everything so difficult? Why is everything so difficult? Anyway, that worked though. That increased the size of the Alchemy board, and now I can't drag this at all. Okay. So I guess I'm not quite ready to playtest this. Oh, we got some errors here. Object reference not set to an instance of object. I don't know. Does resizing the board... Oh, you know what? Resizing the board might free some things. Hold on a second. Yeah, it clears the board. Oh, no. Maybe I should just prevent... Maybe I should just prevent cards from being left in the Alchemy grid. To just prevent the player from closing the tab if the Alchemy board has cards. That might be an easy fix. So there's a couple of things I need to do. I need to prevent the Alchemy board from being shown. I need to prevent the Alchemy grid from being shown. So let's do this. Alchemy container. Alchemy container dot visible is equal to false. Drawer tween dot tween action. Alchemy container dot visible is equal to false. Alchemy container dot visible is equal to true. No, I don't want to do this. Play expand animation. Expand for event. Is force expanded? Okay. Oh, here. Let's change this. Is force expanded? Alchemy container dot visible is equal to not is force expanded. If not is force expanded, alchemy container dot play in. Okay, that makes more sense, I think. Okay, so that will work, I think. And now we need to prevent the drawer from being collapsed. If there's stuff in the alchemy grid. Oh, shoot. That's good. There's going to be an edge case there, too. What, cat? How do you run around for an hour and 20 minutes? Aren't cats supposed to sleep? Why are you not sleeping? Why are you not sleeping? Why aren't you sleeping? I think it's good, but the algorithm is not recommending it. About said game. Oh, I see. Oh, Baldur's Gate 3, right. Yeah. Hello, Ricky Tuki. Welcome. Devlog was amazing. Thank you. I appreciate that. I put a lot of effort into it. I hope it shows. I feel like I have to go out of my way to find game dev videos. Maybe, I've been doing daily YouTube videos for almost a year. I'd kill for 59 views. Oof, yeah. It can be hard. What's the use of devlogs? Is it to attract players? Yeah, for me, it's mostly a marketing vehicle just to get eyes on the game, get some wish lists. That's basically it. I think it has to do with people having shorter attention spans. Game dev content is still around, but it's way more popular in short form content as opposed to detailed devlogs. Yeah, maybe I should start investing in shorts. It's time for game dev once again. Welcome, Jack Daytona. Pacifist build is super fun. You like it? So you're talking you build shield and healing and just let the enemy decay. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, that was definitely something that I wanted to support is like, yeah, you don't have to deal direct damage to the enemy if you don't want to. So I'm glad that you're actually finding that fun. Well, there's an edge case here. If alchemy container dot has cards on board, public bool has cards on board. Key cards on board dot length is greater than 0. Announcements dot create announcement. Alchemy remove cards from alchemy board. So the edge case is that when the boss comes, yeah, the edge case to do prevent edge case where drawer can be opened and alchemy started before boss fight. Maybe prevent expansion of drawer. But here's the thing, what if you want to do alchemy before the combat? Maybe alchemy should be maybe alchemy should be a tab that you can do instead. Yeah, because the question is, if you want to do alchemy before you start, if you're at a combat screen and you want to do alchemy, you should be able to do that. So maybe alchemy should be a drawer that slides out or something. Well, shoot. We'll figure it out. I think this should be enough to playtest, though. This should be enough to get a feel for how this is working. So let's try it out. Let's just do a normal run. And we'll give it a shot. I have some shorts if you need some. Okay, thank you for offering. Wish list, it looks fun. Thank you, Jumble. I've been telling you to do shorts like a Bitcoin bro in 2010, trying to convince people to buy Bitcoin. Yeah, seriously. I listened to the Bitcoin bro, but I did not listen to the shorts bro. So my alchemy size is a little bit bigger. I can take this alchemy now. Increase that. Okay. I need some boosters now, so we'll go this way. Discord suggestion, game dev chat for people to ask questions. I know there are other game dev discords, but I think a smaller community is nice. Yeah, for sure, I can add that. Are you better, men? I'm doing well. Oh, am I better? Interesting. Welcome to the stream, Kelso. Good to see you again. Oh, we're playing with nerfed skeletons too, that's right. The nerfed skeletons are definitely making a difference. I can already feel it. But I should win this, I think. Maybe? Am I going to lose this combat? Where's the necrosis? There it is. E through them. Yes, there we go. Okay, I can't do both cats at once. I can't do both at once. Okay, let's get the booster. Hello, Neozoid. Yeah, hope to see you in the Discord. You know, it'd be cool, some sort of Thorns build where the enemy just kills themselves by attacking you. That is a good idea, yeah. Is the fire effect a particle or pixel art? It's a particle. Welcome, Tom will always be, by the way. I want a Discord channel to post cat pictures. We could do that. We could do that. How do I playtest? Right now, the way to access the playtest is to sign up. Where in the heck did that go? I think it's going to the Alchemy grid. Wait a minute. Did it go to the Alchemy grid? Yeah, okay. The way to get the playtest is to sign up for the Patreon at one of the paid tiers right now. But if you want, you can wait a week or two, and the playtest will be available to the public as well. So, no need to pay if you don't want to. But all the links for that stuff is in the description below, so you can check it out. Could be an upgrade if you get a field kit alchemy table that can be purchased with meta upgrades. Okay. Let's go to this upgrade card here. I need a board size increase. Let's upgrade the squid, actually. Ooh, I have an idea. Take the squid. Let's bring up the alchemy here. Do this. Oops, I did not mean to do that. I'm still trying to get used to... Son of a bee. I'm still trying to get used to the fact that left click brings up the inspector now. Used to be right click. That's annoying. Let's see here. I think a stockade could be a fun item. Adds time to cooldown of any warriors that attack you. Throw them in the stockade. Yeah, that's a cool idea. I got Skull Minion with 46 poison. Wow. The game does feel really easy, so a nerf was called for. Yeah, I was expecting it to be a little bit easy, but definitely lots of balancing to do. The main goal of the playtest is to show you the vision, so I think erring on the side of too easy was good. Now the next phase is going to be taking all the feedback into account, making sure that the core loop, the core mechanics feel good, and then we can build the game from there. Will there be more C# courses on Udemy? I'm really interested in your drag and drop system. Not planned currently, no. Is the map generated randomly after you win a battle? Or can you make the map? You make map as shown after you clean battle. The map is generated ahead of time and does not change during the run. It does get revealed though, the fog of war here. So as you travel, more nodes will be revealed. Maybe add armor. I think I have a suit of armor as a card that can be done. Hello, Snuff Build. Thank you for the IDR 10,000. Very much appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Look at all these yummers. Everyone loves the yummers. Everyone loves it. No emotes. Oh, in Discord. I don't know anything about emotes, man. I'm so far behind the kids these days. So here's what I was talking about. The shop now has these inspect and purchase tooltips here. So you can inspect the card, then there's just purchase down here and you can purchase these. So I know I haven't really shown a whole lot, but how are we feeling about the alchemy always being available? I kind of want to purchase this guy. Purchase that guy. Let's sell this a big card. Grab that. Drag this over here. Can increase the alchemy board size again. Do I want to alchemize anything? Let's see. Oh yeah, let's do this. That. Is this broken again? Great. It's broken again. Anyway, throw all those in. Seven damage, apply 4 fire. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, let's do this one. $60 poisons before the enemy does anything. Wow. The tooltips look cool. You like them? Good. Yummers emote when? We might have to do that. I think it's pretty cool, but I also think it's ripe for abuse in the current setup. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm almost like... Yeah, maybe the alchemy shouldn't be always available. I thought it was going to be a good idea, but I almost do like the alchemy moments being more few and far between. It feels more meaningful when you get to an alchemy node and you're like, okay, yeah, time to mix some stuff. And it kind of slows down the rate at which you gain power as well. I was just thinking that, you know, I'm kind of positioning alchemy as the main hook of the game, so it kind of feels weird to not have alchemy always available. But I do like, from a gameplay perspective, I think I like it better when these alchemy nodes are just, those are your alchemy upgrade moments, you know, rather than just being able to do it whenever you want. Also, I haven't gotten any board size upgrades yet. Oh, there's one over here. Alchemy being always available does lean into it being the main mechanic more, but I can't tell if it's good or bad without trying it. Yeah, I feel like more structure is needed for the combat. Like there should always be a minion generated. I just got in a fight with a torch and 2 carrots and started questioning my life. Maybe, I don't know. I kind of like that. I think it's kind of goofy. I think it would be relatively easy to make sure a minion is always generated, but I don't know if I want to do that. Well, you need to do nested tooltips, so tooltips within tooltips to explain mechanics and details further. I was going to do just like an encyclopedia where players can go and read. Let's go this way. Perlin noise is so awesome for polish juiciness. Yeah, noise can be used very, very effectively for all kinds of things. I'm using noise in a lot of places. Obviously the fog and whatnot, but also... that's so annoying. But also, you know, map placement. Alchemy. Okay, let's see. Grow the alchemy board. So this is fire. This is fire, and this is fire. Put all those together. I actually don't know if that was a good output. Probably not. But this is actually going to scale. Did it crit? Oh, it did crit. Ooh, it's growing in fire. Oh, but do I have enough time? Nope. Burn these up. The animations on that guy in the cloak are so good. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Nick. Thank you, thank you. And welcome to the stream. Good to see you. I like the idea of alchemy being an event because it makes more impactful, but you could also sneak in the alchemy table in post-combat or post-event, so the player can still alchemize without travel. Yeah, that's an interesting idea, is making like hybrid nodes. So like, yeah, like a combat, you engage in a combat, but it also has a secondary reward type or something. I've never been able to put the marionette on the board, but it's great. I can alchemize it to a more reasonable size card. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's cool. Name it Necronomicon. I guess that's a good name for that. Oh yeah, good idea. Maybe use ChatGPT for the story because the game without the story is so weird. I don't think I'm going to do that because I think ChatGPT is basically just like a mid generator. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's consuming the entirety of human writings and then training on that, which means that it's just mid. Like, it's ChatGPT stuff is definitionally mid. So you can get a very generic, like, coherent story from it, but I don't know if it's going to be that interesting. Brainstorming with ChatGPT for like story beats and things, I think is a good idea. But yeah, ChatGPT story is just going to be the most generic of generic. ChatGPT is definitionally mid. That is the hill that I'm dying on. Might have a bit too easy on my first try. Yeah, the playtest is a little bit easy. I think that's the general agreement here. An artifact for alchemy reroll. Oh, that's a good one. So I actually do think, now that I'm playing it, I think making the alchemy always available, it serves the hook a little bit better, and I lost all those cards because I haven't. It serves the hook more because like I'm like advertising this game as like alchemy being a big part of it, which is still true in both approaches. But yeah, I just don't think the alchemy being always available is as interesting as having a definitive upgrade moment that you can travel to on the map. You know what I mean? Now I think what I can do is right now in the playtest, the alchemy grid is fixed at 3x3. But what I'll do is I'll make it so that there can be alchemy tiers. So as you get farther away from the start node, there will be more powerful alchemy events, which just means that the board is bigger. So you might not encounter a 3x3 alchemy grid until you get like, 10 nodes deep into the map or whatever. So I definitely think I'm still going to do that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think the alchemy being always available is working that well. That's why we experiment. That's why we test. But I honestly do think, even in its rough state, I don't like being able to alchemize things whenever I want. I think it feels a lot better when it's a more meaningful moment. Because then it just cheapens, like, everything can become alchemized then, right? It kind of cheapens the experience. It removes the meaningfulness of having, like, keeping some cards with their natural abilities and then alchemizing other cards down into smaller ones. If you could just do that whenever, then the game becomes less about, like, strategic placement of your items on the board and becomes more about, like, which things am I going to alchemize now, and how am I going to pack as much power into this one card as I can, which is still something that you can do with the intermittent alchemy upgrades. But the fact that it's less frequent means that it's not going to be as easy to accomplish. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think... Good idea in theory, bad idea in practice. A tale as old as time. A tale as old as time. The game without the story is totally fine. Would be nice down the road, but certainly not needed right now. Yeah, I think the story is something I can layer on. I'm doing some world building just naturally with the art and with the flavor text and stuff. So I think a story can just fit naturally on top when the game is ready for that. How poison resolved? Is it resolved per turn? Yes, per turn. So every turn it deals poison damage equal to the number of stacks. If need someone to slap together a story and lore, I'm a speed dial. My payment is in McDonald's. Sounds good. That's funny. I don't think this game needs any story at all. World building is a plus. I don't think it needs a story. Roguelikes don't really have stories anyway. Yeah, they don't. Maybe a hybrid between having alchemy always available, but doing alchemy requires fuel given randomly across nodes. Yeah, that would be quite a change from the current formula of the game. But honestly, the way that the alchemy is presented right now works really good, I think. I feel like there's no actual story, at least lore, then it could be carried by that. Maybe you should either start with an artifact or have one after the first so many moves. It sucks not seeing an artifact until right before the boss. I think I can... There are more rules that I can bake into the generation of the map generation. Right now it's pure random, so there's a loot table with all the node types in the loot table, and it just picks those randomly. I think there are some rules like 2 of the same node. Is that true? I thought I put a rule in there that 2 of the same node cannot be adjacent to each other, but I may have just made that up. I think that's true. So there's an artifact right here, right at the beginning. So I could definitely add in some biasing. Like I can make the loot table more dynamic, where it's like if it hasn't picked an artifact node for a while, that one becomes weighted higher in the table. I could also set aside some rules, like there has to be an artifact within the first, like you said, 10 moves. It's like asking for a story for Vampire Survivors. There's no point. I definitely don't want to do like a whole like campaign story. I think... Yeah, whatever story I do come up with would be more like world building, you know, like you said. Just very loose, set the stage, add to the theme a little bit. Okay, well, I'm going to probably revert these, but I am going to commit this. I am going to commit this, but then I'm going to revert these changes and get back to where we were. I always forget how this works. Do I need to revert the first one? Am I not allowed to revert from here? Where do I revert? Hello, I'm trying to revert. Ugh. I'm not enough of a Git master to know how to do this in the Git command line. So I'm just gonna go to GitHub and revert it. Actually, do I even know how to do this here? Did I forget how to revert commits? How did I do this? Okay, well, let's ask, speaking of chat Jeepers T, let's ask the AI. How do I revert the past 2 commits? Git command line. Could always do something like Slay the Spire and off a few different starting options to help direct what players are aiming to do. Offer, yeah, I got you. Git revert commit hash, git reset, then the commit. Git revert head, squiggle head. Oh, I can do git reset. Okay, let's try this one. That didn't work. Does this need to be head 2? Okay, there we go. Well, before I do anything, let's just make sure this works. No, yeet, no. No. Head is the current tip of the branch. -1 means go back 1 commit. I don't know why that didn't work, though. It should have... I don't know. I'm not a Git expert. Let's just make sure this works, though. I think that works. Oh, I'm in file history. So now I have this in my history if I ever want to go back to it, but I think we're good now. I think we're back to where we were. So that was a worthy experiment, but yeah, I don't think that's going to work. I may revisit it in the future as the game continues to take shape, but as of right now, I actually don't think that's a good decision for the game. I like the way that the alchemy is presented right now. It's a lot more interesting. Git reset head 1 will erase the current commit and go back to the previous one. Oh, I got you. Okay. I got you. Okay, so we're back to the normal alchemy here. Ah, home sweet home. Back to the normal alchemy. I added a little legendary text here too when it's a legendary alchemy output. Okay, we're good. All right, V. All right. I don't even know if I can read these comments without getting demonetized. Alchemy does call for some more emphasis. Just generally speaking, you mean in the game? Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll explore. We'll do other things with the game first, but let's see. We're gonna mark that as done. It was marked as an experimental card, so I think it's done. I think we looked at it. Agreed. If I want to learn Godot from scratch, what roadmap would you recommend? I know basics of programming. Yeah, start with the documentation. There's a lot of good like tutorials in the document, in the official documentation, and then there's also the Godot example projects. You can also look at the various course content. I have course content, but also there's a lot of free content. And since you know the basics of programming, I would probably recommend just looking up like free tutorials and free courses on YouTube first, especially ones that start with beginners. My courses are more directed at intermediate because I don't spend a whole lot of time explaining programming concepts. But yeah, I would just leverage the resources available to you. Start with the documentation, read through that, and follow some free YouTube tutorials, and I think that will get you on your way pretty good. Hello, Dmox. Welcome, welcome. Forgetting with Alchemy Pot and the pop art feels like an addition, not the main thing. I like that I'm not the only one who has to be occasionally censored, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about how to make Alchemy more, I don't know. I don't like the way that it was feeling with the Alchemy always available. And so the question is, how do I make Alchemy more front and center while avoiding the problems that came with that? It's a good question. It'd be cool if there were like consumables or artifacts that allowed your alchemies to focus on different aspects of the mechanic. Yeah. Yeah. Or like maybe there's like reagent cards like the lead ingot, right? The lead ingot is something that is basically only for alchemy. So maybe there could be more cards like that. Reagent cards that you can build up to more carefully tailor your alchemical outputs. Have I considered making mobile games? I don't like mobile games, so I've never really wanted to make one. That doesn't mean that I won't take a PC game that I make and port it to mobile if it can be ported. But yeah. Also some form of alchemy reroll. Thinking man pose goes hard. Yeah. Anyway, I have a meeting that I need to get to in approximately 8 minutes. That's going to be it for the stream. So we didn't really get anything done, really. But we did decide that for now, having the alchemy always available is not a good idea. I think maybe everyone agrees, but it's like Christmas when I find a lead ingot, I stack that alchemy board as hard as I can. Yeah, and I think that maybe that's the way to make alchemy just a little bit more front and center, is just like give the player more things like that, whether it's artifacts or reagent cards or whatever, that allows them to more carefully shape the alchemical output rather than just being at the mercy of RNG. I think that that's a way to do it, but we'll have to think about it. I'll have to think about it. I fixed the intro text. Did I? Oh, like the tutorial text or something? I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, I gotta get going, but thanks everyone for watching. Thank you for being here. And again, the Patreon is available. So if you sign up for one of the paid tiers on Patreon right now, you will get a Steam key emailed to you that will give you immediate access to the playtest. You do not have to financially support the project. I want to make that perfectly clear. This is not a cash grab. You know, the financial support is greatly appreciated, and it does help me with my budget, and it also gives you all these perks, but you will be able to play Alchemortis playtests. If you're not a financial supporter, you just have to wait until a week or two after the Patreon members get to play it. So, but I do appreciate everyone that has already signed up. I know a lot of you in this chat have already signed up, so I very much appreciate that. Thank you. And it's going to help me quite a lot as I go further into Alchemortis development. So all the links for everything are in the description below. The 2100. Oh, yeah. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I remember now. Great launch. Thank you. Yeah, so thanks again, everyone. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you all tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. All right? Oh, wait. Here we go. Hey, Firebelly, I just wanted to thank you because thanks to your videos, I can now do things that used to feel complicated in a simple and fast way. Glad to hear that. Thank you. And yeah, thanks for your message. Glad to hear that, as always. All right. Yeah, take care, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.